Hey guys, welcome again to another video in the series Fundamentals of Programming. In this video, like I mentioned before in the previous videos, we're using C++. If you did not follow up with the previous videos that I posted, just please check the link in the description if you're interested in taking a look at it. It explains more to what we did. So basically, this is where we ended up. In this video, I'm going to be talking about something called loops. And basically, what a loop is imagine you have a bunch of lines and let's say for example, oops, I want to do this, right? So now let's say for example, I want to print those three lines and like basically like when we run the old program, it's going to remind everyone what it was. It's going to print out three, make the coder, n, and then it's going to end. Now let's say for example, I wanted to print those three times in a row. I can just do this, so three times in a row, and then run it again. Of course, if you're on a Mac, you can just hit Command R. If you're on a Windows, I believe whatever compiler is, I think it's like F5 to run it. But anyway, so you can see three decoder and it's printed three times. But of course, in our programming world itself, that is definitely not efficient. It's a really, really bad way to print the same thing or code in general. So the way we're gonna do this is we can use a loop. A loop is basically a way for you to write to like use the same exact bunch of lines of code or the same block of code multiple times. And there's different ways to do a loop. First, I'm gonna explain what is called a for loop, right? So a for loop is basically you write for, and then inside of it, we need to tell where to start. You cannot just tell like, listen, I want you to run this three times. It doesn't know what three times is. Where does it start? Does it start from zero? Start from one? Does it start from five? And so on. So the way we do it is inside the for loop, like I mentioned earlier. If you guys remember, we're gonna and the way we declare an integer, we're gonna do that here. We're gonna do that int, and we're just gonna write I, short for integer. That's the name of whatever the value is, and we're gonna set it to zero. Basically, we're telling the compiler to the for loop to start from zero. And then we're going to put a semicolon inside those quotation marks. Basically, this is the end of the first part. The second part is we're going to tell it to keep looping until the value of I is reached. Basically, what we're going to do is and keep running until I is less than 3. So basically, let me actually finish it and I'm going to explain it. It makes it easier. So let me just put some spaces here so it can be easy to add. So I plus plus. So basically, I plus plus is once it runs whatever code inside here we're gonna do, and then it's going to run this line again, this piece of code right here. So let's say, for example, we want to run this basically three times. So basically, it starts from zero. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2, and then when it reaches 3, it's going to find I is not it's not less than 3. It's actually equal to 3. So it's not going to run the code. So it's going to exit out. So basically, it's going to run when I is equal to 0, when I is equal to 1, then when I is equal to 2, and it's going to run and then it's going to give us 3 values. And basically, I plus plus is you plus plus is adding plus I, whatever the value of I is, plus 1. This is a shortcut for it. Of course, there's different ways you can, the way you do it, can I plus equal 1. This is, let me actually, yeah, just want to make sure there's nothing wrong. Yeah, I kind of give it away, but I'm just going to put this away. I'm going to keep explaining, and then we're going to run it. So basically, you're going to start from 0, and then you're going to, let me put it back to I plus plus. Then if it's valid, and basically when I is equal to 0, it's going to check is I less than 3, 0 is less than 3. So this is valid. When it's true, then it's going to go in and run those bunch of lines. And then it's going to keep doing. So in that way, it's going to run it 3 times. So build succeeded. And if you look right here, this is 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. So this is 3 times, same exact way of a loop. And we can also just write here see out and line. And what it's going to do is actually, no, no, sorry, put it in the wrong way. See, this is what the problem is about programming. If you put something in the wrong section, it's going to give you a different result than what you want. I didn't put it inside. So basically, a for loop is this. See those quotation marks right here? This is what is inside the for loop only. That's what's going to be executed 3 times. Anything outside of it is only going to be executed once, or depending on if you put another for loop. But anyway, if you do this, I'm going to put an extra space in between. And once it's run, I'm going to find 3, make the coder, n, which are the 3 variables right here. The 3, name 1, name 2, name 3. It's going to be printed 3 times. So basically, this is a for loop. A different kind of for loop is something called a while loop, right? So the way the while loop is instead of telling it we're gonna start from here, and then you're gonna keep adding to the value, like here, like I keep adding to I, I'm sorry, until you reach a certain limit. But basically, a while loop, excuse me, basically a while loop is you're telling it to not stop running until you reach something. And I know that doesn't make much of a difference. You're like, this is the same thing. What's the difference between both of them? Difference is, let's say for example, um, let me just remove this. Oh, by the way, right here, as you can see, there's something called int main. This is a function. I'm gonna explain in a different video what is a function. It's gonna be more fun actually. So int main. So let's say, let me just write it. Int I is equal to 0. Now inside it, as long as I is less than 3, no. So we're gonna see out name 1 and then start a new line. Just gonna copy and paste all of this. Name 2, name 3. And between each variable that's being printed, start a new line. And then we're gonna add an extra line. Oops, we got an L here. And then after we're done with this, inside of it, we add the value. Of course, this comes sometimes it comes handy in some scenarios, like they both do the same thing, but from different directions and different perspectives. And when you're writing more programs, you're gonna be able to see what it is. I don't want to get into details of like giving you an example. It's gonna make this video really, really long, but I just want to show you 2 ways to do this: a while loop and a for loop. And down the line, I'm gonna create videos of what is the difference between both of them in a more detailed way. So this is for the end of the video of what is a loop. And in the next video, we're gonna be talking about functions, something interesting that you guys are gonna love. It's in a way, to be honest, I feel it's the same thing, but let me just start a new video, all right? So see you in the next video.